What's up, everyone? First thing I want to discuss is going to be the story of the previous installments of Baldur's Gate. Now, there were three main setups in this. There's the initial first Baldur's Gate game. We also had Baldur's Gate 2 and the major expansion for 2, Throne of Bhaal. Now, there were other expansions and whatnot that added a little bit extra to the story, and I haven't played these games fully, but I have read the novelized versions of the events, and while they are not 100% canon, the main events that instilled in them are. So what few changes I do know of between the two, I will point out, but for the most part, this is spot on for where the story is and a good way to catch up of what is the world like before you enter into Baldur's Gate 3. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as we delve into Baldur's Gate 1. What's up, everyone? So, let's get started on discussing Baldur's Gate 1. Now, as we progress through the video, I'll be placing right here pictures of major characters that we discuss going through this. Now, the major events of the story of the three games takes place between the years of 1368 Day of Reckoning and 1369. These are the year of the banner and the year of the gauntlet. Now, you play as a character that's known simply as Gorian's ward, but the novelized version has this character as a mercenary fighter by the name of Abdel Adrian. Now, you have many notable companions that you can get in the game. The ones that really cross over into the story are going to be Imoen, Jaheira, Khalid, Minsc Bu, Montron and Zan, and Yeslik. And all of these we'll get to as they are appropriate to the story. But, as a warning now, both Minsc Bu and Imoen did not play much of a major role in the novelized story of the first book. They will not really come in until Baldur's Gate 2, even though you could have made them very valuable and strong companions in the video game. As well, just because they are on this list does not mean in the novelized version that they were a true companion. Some of these people were actually villains in the novels and feigned alliance. And we'll get into that as we reach them in the story. Now, there are other companions who didn't show up in the novel but could still be alive come the events of Baldur's Gate 3, since Baldur's Gate 3 is around a century more later in the timeline. And these include Coran, Kagain, Kevin, and Viconia Devere. So, if these show up, those will be great callbacks to this original game and pretty interesting characters to see how they've developed in this huge time gap between the events of these stories. Now, the story starts with your character in Candlekeep. And you get to do some starting quests, go ahead and gain a level before the game really starts you out and exploring. But upon your departure, Gorian is murdered in the video games at the hands of a person that we will later come to know as Sarabak. But in the novel, this is at the hands of bandits under the employ of the Iron Throne, the main villainous troop for the first Baldur's Gate story. Now, upon dealing with these individuals, Gorion had left instructions for Abdel to journey north to the Friendly Arm Inn, where he was to meet up with Jahira and Khalid. This married couple, also members of the Harpers, unbeknown to Abdel, are actually here to make sure that Abdel gets a chance to develop into something more than what his blood would make of him. For they are aware that he is a ball spawn, even though Abdel is not at this point. More on that to come, as it is very important to later parts of the story. Now, after journeying to the Friendly Arm Inn, they head south to the town of Naskel to visit the mines there, because there has been an iron shortage due to the iron coming out of that mine not being of sufficient quality. It's constantly destroying and it's causing a major catastrophe, an iron shortage, making it where iron is now more valuable than gold. This also is along the way where we meet Montaron and Czar. Now, as it starts out, they seem like they are going to be good companions for the party. They're adding things that the party doesn't have. It's the first mage that joins the party, as well as a nice little roguish character. When you have Jahira, who is a druid, and Khalid, who's only a fighter, as well as Abdel being a fighter as well. So, upon journeying into the mines, we come to find out that Montaron and Czar are indeed members of the Zentarum, and they betray Abdel and his friends in the mines, since they're trying to take this knowledge of what's going on in the mines and use it to the Zentarum's advantage and better benefit the Black Network. This causes Abdel to get separated from the group, where he eventually runs into a half-orc cleric named Mullahay. This is the person who has been actively causing the problems in the mines with an alchemical potion that is causing the iron to decay at such rapid rates. He has captured a elf wizard by the name of Zahn, who becomes an ally of convenience for the party, once again bringing that magical essence to the party that the party needed. After discovering the issues with the mines and learning that Mullahay was working with the group known as the Iron Throne, they venture back north to start hunting these bandits down, just to learn where they're operating out of, so that they can try to put an end to the Iron Throne's activity. During this time, they learn of there being a major group of them in the Cloakwood, and in this travel, around this time is when, in the novelized version, Khalid dies to some form of ooze, but we're not sure what it is. But I do know in the video game lore, Khalid lives through, provided you're able to keep him alive, the entirety of the first game. So that's one major difference between the two. But like I said, I want to focus more on the story from the novel's perspectives. So, moving forward from there, they journey into the Cloakwood, dealing with many spiders and ettercaps. And during this time, Zahn passes away in the fight. But they eventually find an old dwarven mine that the Iron Throne wishes to exploit to maintain control of the iron trade in the region. And then, using this control, develop a war between the cities of Baldur's Gate and Amn. Yeslik is one of the dwarves who operates this mine, and while he's currently working for the Iron Throne, it's not because he wants to. It's really out of fear for him and his fellow dwarves. So he agrees to assist the group at least to reclaim the mines. And after they do successfully reclaim it, these groups do part ways. But during the time in the mines, this is when the party learns that Sarevok is actually the mastermind behind the Iron Throne, and he is scheming to claim domain over Baldur's Gate and become the new Grand Duke of the city. In Baldur's Gate, Abdel Adrian has a friend, a captain in the Flaming Fist, and he's been a long time fighting compatriot for him when he was a mercenary. Now he uses this to try to get into more knowledge of the city and try to find out who Sarevok really is, resulting in the captain's death at the hands of doppelgangers. And thanks to these doppelgangers, Abdel and Jaheira getting blamed for the captain's death. It is during their attempts to clear their name that they're able to learn who Sarevok truly is and start the final battle with them, during which Sarevok kills Jaheira. But in a fit of rage over her death, with Abdel now realizing that he is in love with this woman, he is able to overthrow Sarevok, and with so, he absorbs part of Sarevok's essence unbeknownst to him, increasing his own formidable powers, and starts to gain more than just better than normal strength, and actually starts to have a sort of regenerative property now. As thanks for what he has done for the city and saving it, the city does bring Jaheira back to life and sets us up for the events of Baldur's Gate 2. So then I'm going to cut this one off, and we will be back later with the story of Baldur's Gate 2.